Hello. I hope this episode goes better. Um, we had trouble with my connection in the part of the house I was in earlier. And I laugh at this book because it is tattered. It is a teacher's guide. It has been read and dropped, and it's ugly. The colors I don't like. It's not a pretty cover. I don't know why I chose to pick this one up. I have another one that's much prettier, but it had my teacher notes in it. So let's read chapter 7, Monseigneur, and the sun is going to blind me. Monseigneur in town. This is book 2. So, Monseigneur, one of the great lords in the town at the court, held his fortnightly, remember that's 2 weeks, reception in his grand hotel in Paris. Monseigneur was in his inner room, his sanctuary of sanctuaries, the holiest of holiest to the crowd of worshippers in the suite of rooms without on the outside. Monseigneur was about to take his chocolate. Monseigneur could swallow a great many things with ease, and was by some few sullen minds supposed to be rather rapidly swallowing France. But his morning's chocolate could not so much as get into the throat of the Monseigneur without the aid of 4 strong men besides the cook. Now watch the characterization of Monseigneur. We've switched. We've left London, and we're over in France now. We're outside of Paris. Monseigneur is a new character we haven't been introduced to, and we're going to pay attention to some of the characterization they use here. He's swallowing France, means you're devouring. If you're eating up a person or eating up a place or eating up a business, you're aggressively destroying it. So we're already learning a lot about his character. Yes, it took 4 men to just drink a cup of cocoa. It took 4 men, all 4 ablaze with gorgeous decoration, well dressed. And the chief of them, unable to exist with fewer than 2 gold watches in his pocket, emulative of the noble and chaste fashion set by Monseigneur, to conduct the happy chocolate to Monseigneur's lips. One lackey, like a servant, carried the chocolate pot into the sacred presence. A second milled and frothed the chocolate with the little instrument he bore for that function. A third presented the favored napkin. A fourth, he of the 2 gold watches, poured the chocolate out. So what does this tell us about Monseigneur? He's noble. He's got all these servants that help him. They're saying you've got one person that carries in the tray. You've got another person who pours the chocolate into the cup, another one that gives the Monseigneur the napkin, another that stirs the cup. Like it's this big production for him just to have a cup of cocoa. It was impossible for Monseigneur to dispense with one of these attendants on the chocolate and hold his high, I lost my place. Hold his high place under the admiring heavens. Deep would have been the blot upon his escutcheon if his chocolate had been ignobly waited on by only 3 men. He must have died of 2. And there's that sarcastic tone of Dickens when he addresses this upper class. It would have been the end of the world if he only had 2 men wait on him. God forbid he actually make his own hot chocolate. Monseigneur had been out at a little supper last night where the comedy and the grand opera was charmingly represented. So he was out at the show. Monseigneur was out at a little supper most nights with fascinating company. So polite and so impressible was Monseigneur that the comedy and the grand opera had far more influence with him in the tiresome articles of state affairs and state secrets than the needs of all France. A happy circumstance for France, as the like always is for all the countries similarly favored, always was for England, by way of example, in the regretted days of the Mary Stuart, who Merry, like happy, who sold it. The Stuarts were of England. Monseigneur had only one truly noble idea of general public business, which was to let everything go on its own way of particular public business. Monseigneur had the other truly noble idea that it must all go his way, tend to his own power and pocket, of his pleasures, general and particular. Monseigneur had the other truly noble idea that the world was made for them. The text of his order, so he's very privileged. The text of his order, altered from the original by only a pronoun, which is not much, ran, "The earth and the fullness thereof are mine, saith Monseigneur." So that's the scripture, and it should be "saith the Lord." So are mine, like are his. It should be for God. What does that tell us about Monseigneur? He's really full of himself. He thinks he's in control of everything. He is the God. Yet Monseigneur had slowly found, I'm curious to know if this word that we read before, I'm going to see what some of our vocabulary words are going to be in this section. So we're in unit 5, rumblings of the revolution. Yeah. Let's look at words. Dispense. No, that's an easier one. Abominable. Vendor. No. Obsquia. I never can say this word. I used to have somebody that always read along with me. Her name is Kelly, and she would get the pronunciation for me. So I need to look that up. But no, the word I was expecting wasn't in there. Escutcheon. Let's look it up. ES. I think it's something you would carry. Watch me be completely wrong. Oh, my thumbs are too big. I typed something crazy. There it is. A shield, yeah. Or the emblem, the coat of arms. That's why it's not a word I knew really well. So he's got this motto on his coat of arms. Do you guys stop and look up words when you're not sure about them? It just takes a second. Yet Monseigneur had slowly found that vulgar embarrassments crept into his affairs, both private and public, and he had, as to both classes' affairs, allied himself perforce with a farmer general. As to finances public, because Monseigneur could not make anything at all of them, and must consequently let them out to somebody who could. As to finances private, because farmer generals were rich, and Monseigneur, after generations of great luxury and expense, was growing poor. So he's from a very wealthy family, but he's not a good manager of money, and now he doesn't have money. Hence, Monseigneur had taken his sister from a convent while there was yet time to ward off the impending veil, the cheapest garment she could wear, and had bestowed her to a prize upon a very rich farmer general, poor in family, which farmer general, carrying an appropriate, so he married off his sister because he needed money, carrying an appropriate cane with a golden apple on the top of it, was now among the company in the other rooms, much prostrated before by mankind, always accepting superior mankind of the blood of Monseigneur, who his own wife included, looked down upon him with the loftiest contempt. So his wife is dead. Some looked down upon him. I don't know if that, I'm assuming looked down from heaven, but maybe it just means she just looked down her nose at him. Oh my gosh. It seems like every time I read, this man is mowing his grass. He just mowed like 2 days ago or yesterday. What is that about? Let's try going inside. This has just been never a day that I'm not going to get anything read. It's so frustrating. We'll try again. We'll try. So sorry. I'm not a professional. And my son is teaching upstairs. We can hear him. He teaches English online. All right. Let's see if we come over here. Maybe it's quieter. I don't know. The light is terrible. Oh, the guy stops mowing. I may just call it quits. I didn't want to read tonight, and I think I shouldn't have. I should have trusted my feelings. I'm going to fold the page, and I'm going to give it a stop. Sorry about that, guys. Look at the light. It's so dark. You can't even see me. I apologize. I don't even know that I'll keep this up. You guys keep reading. Read without me, and I will read to you next time. See ya.